How y'all doing? What's going on? Welcome back to the Spoon Fed Podcast. You already know my name, but just in case it's your first time tuning in, my name is Spoon, also known as ST Dub, which means Spoon the World. Catch me on Instagram. I'm going to post my link right below. Just chime in for sure. But today's episode is important. It's a rendition of the last episode, but more new. Let me break it down. Today, we're going to talk about the Supreme Court ruling which overturns the concealed carry in New York City, and what does it mean for you, especially if you live in New York City or all these other places that had harsh gun laws, which meaning you couldn't carry a gun when you wanted to. You had to keep it in the house, even if that was legal. So let's break it down. What will be affected immediately, of course, is the gun laws will be affected, meaning any place that had gun laws that restricted, they have to change all of that. Now, every state is going to be able to carry a concealed weapon. That sounds like news to my ears. And what people don't realize, people that even disagree, I'm like, why would you disagree? Because this is giving citizens more power. Let me break it down. And what you mean by more power? Easily. What is this going to change? This also is going to change how police interact with you. Meaning, when they pull up on you, they can't just get out and start beating the hell out of you like certain people have reported. That happened to me when I was younger. But you see what I'm saying? And on top of that, that's going to change the dynamics on crime. Meaning, criminals are going to be more cautious. What I mean more cautious is that they're not just going to run up on anybody and say, hey, yo, give me your money. Because they know you have the right to legally shoot and kill them. It only makes sense. So why would y'all be against something that's giving y'all more power? I understand, because you're ignorant to what's really going on. When you hear more guns, you're like, oh my God. We're not saying we're giving more guns to criminals. No, criminals already have the guns. They're giving the power back to you so you can defend yourself. But a lot of people don't understand that. But along with that, police procedure is going to change. Everything is going to have to change. And what I mean by the gun laws as well, meaning all type of gun laws that have been restricted, meaning what has been taken away due to mass shooters, like you can't get bullets mailed to your house, you can't have certain type of number of ammunition, like in New York City, you can't have more than 10 rounds per handgun cartridge. So it's like, or I should say handgun magazine, you see what I'm saying? Or if you have a rifle, you can't have a pistol grip on a rifle, which is dumb because it still shoots the same type of caliber as any other rifle. Make it make sense. So they're just trying to make it harder for people to buy certain things or to make it inaccessible so you won't buy it in the first place. They think they slick. But all that is going to change now, because when these laws come down, all those laws that they enacted to restrict you from getting things are going to change in our favor. But you have to ask yourself, why don't politicians want this? Well, number one, politicians don't want this because people that look like me are going to be armed. Meaning, so-called black people, Latinos, and the people that they don't want to have guns. And you have to ask yourself why they changed the gun laws in the first place. So you and I cannot protect ourselves properly. So we'll be at the mercy of our environment and the people that's supposed to be watching over us, government. And you know how well that's been going. I heard of more cases of people getting shot by the police than the police helping people. Tell me if I'm lying. Oh, okay. Just checking. The reason why they're so concerned is because people won't put up with their nonsense anymore. Meaning, when they're in the street with their security, everybody else is going to be in the street with them as well, packing. So they don't want that. They don't want to, no matter what they say, oh, we care for the people. No, they don't. Because if they care, they would have you be able to defend yourself just as much as they do. Because we don't have armed security. They do. So who's our armed security? We have to be our own security. Thank you very much. But this is the way it is. And you have to understand this without a doubt. The only crimes that increase when gun laws are calm, meaning that I can walk around with my gun, are covert crimes, meaning crimes that like burglary, any of those crimes where they're not in the midst or the vicinity of the person that could see them, that's the crime that's going to go up, because a criminal's going to be like, wait a minute, I'm not trying to risk my life because everybody could be strapped. Even the baby could be strapped. Nuh-uh, I'm good. So I'm going to wait until these people are not home. Or just in case, well, this is proven in certain places like Texas where they have gun-free zones, which is stupid, like hospitals, whatever. You can't bring your gun into the facility. So they leave the gun in the car and their car gets burglarized because criminals know, oh, wait a minute, this is the gun-free zone. So if we see anybody with a gun, we're going to break into their car because we know it's a gun-free zone. Facts. But people don't think that far ahead. So it's like, you know what? It is what it is. So when these are enacted, a lot of things will change. But you got to understand what crimes decrease, especially for women. This is my main concern. If you're a woman and you say, oh, I don't like gun law, what? Why not? Because when your ass is walking home by yourself and you feel that you're in a bad neighborhood or you're susceptible to be raped or victimized or robbed or even killed, you can protect yourself properly against a man. Hello. You don't have to pull out that mace can and temporarily zap him and stun him and then run and then hope to God he's not chasing you. Nah, you can pull out the strap and say, motherfucker, you better back up. And just to prove my point, if you understand the news, if you pay attention to the news, unfortunately, a young lady, 20 years old, I think in the Bronx or something, lost her life because she was in an abusive relationship. A lot of domestic violence. The mother even said that they reported domestic violence so many times to the police department, but the police department didn't do anything. So instead of getting the proper protection, something like these laws would have protected her life, because it would have gave, I'm not saying she would have been fine 100%. This would have gave her a fighting chance, because once she would have saw her ex walking up to her, she would have pulled that grip out like, yo, bro, get away from me. You know what I'm saying? And unfortunately, she was shot in the head. So if she would have seen him coming or understand what was going on, she could be looking around and have her hand on her grip. I'm not saying this is the end all, the be all, but this will have opportunity to save your life. But if you really look at it, the gun laws is giving more power to the citizens. And that's what politicians don't want. That's what government don't want. Thank you to certain people that's in the government that realizing what's going on. And you're like, you know what? We got to change some of these things because the government is becoming tyrannical. And that's what you're seeing now. But there's going to be another part to this, because the governor also administered a new law. Oh, man, I'm going to break it down. I'm just going to tell you real quick. I'm going to save this part for the next video. Pretty much the governor changed the laws, meaning recently, this week, that you have to hand in your social medias in the last 3 years in order to be able to purchase a concealed carry gun. Buffoonery. Yeah, you heard me. You didn't hear me stutter. You heard me correctly. Yo, I hope y'all learned something on this podcast today. You have been spoon-fed some knowledge, so use it wisely. Over and out. Splash.